Welcome to our channel. It's time to discuss the case that, if you think about, feels good for the perpetrator, even though it's painful for the victim. Mr. Jonathan Altareos is a man born in 62, which can be seen from his face. Lines of good looks that still imprint, even though his age is not young. Already have grandchildren means that his status is grandparents. He lives in Kendari City, country of the Philippines, and has been widowed since 2020, when the wife must face the Almighty. When exposed to the virus C-19, used to be Mr. Jonathan, worked as a staff in the social department, then since retirement joined to become a publisher on a political party. Well, this is him. Have two biological children, the youngest born in 93. Guy who then works, married and moved to Manila, while his eldest son was named Mirasol, born in 91. And this is often a friend fight. Why is that? Because Mirasol eloped in 2015 with the guy. That was not approved by his parents. Not without a strong reason that is not approved, but because the man in surname are still closely related to them, should not be allowed to marry customarily. But Mirasol and her husband forced and ran away just like that to Malaban City. They also had a son in the year 2017. Until then, the husband is rarely home because of his work as a sheepsman. Once a year go home. It can even be once every 2 years for going to sea. It's okay. The important thing is a lot of money. So Mirasol can afford a luxurious lifestyle, though everywhere should be alone. Well, actually, after his son was 4 years old, his relationship with his father is back in harmony. Because you don't want to. Hack Jonathan must accept the presence of his grandson. If we go back to 2018, while his wife was still alive, Mr. Jonathan raised an adopted daughter, not from foster care, but the son of his wife's best friend. Well, that friend is dead, so be accommodated with them. Her daughter named Mona Ding, which is a descendant of Southeast Sulawesi. Mona's grandfather used to be, comes from the district of Mandonga, Kendari, Salting, but has migrated to the Quezon, Philippines since 68. Mona's father was born in the Philippines, also the year 72, and citizenship there, while this girl was born in 98, who had a hobby of dancing and lost his parents in 2014 and 2018 after being adopted by Jonathan and his wife Mona. He was educated at the art campus Academia Pintura, Manila, who graduated in mid-2002. Two of himself then stay alone with Mr. Jonathan and had worked as a secretary of the glass company, as well as learning, become a personal trainer in one of the fitness center Kodotagi. He likes your son by his adoptive brother, which is Mirasol, because it is considered to want to seize the family inheritance. Altareos, according to Mirasol, yes, it should be when you work. Just find your own place to live and don't go home to his father. Jonathan asked Mona to stay home so that the house is not too quiet. December to 2002. Two Mona acquaintances with 30-year-old men named Arvin Pinkanipan, who claims to work in credit collateral on private banks. Arvin is very persuasive. Everyone who hears his words, like drugged and mesmerized. The same thing happened to Mona, because since it was introduced by a friend, until it got close and invited to date. Surely the girl feels proud to have Arvin. He likes to show off to other friends, especially because the man confessed already have 2 houses and plantation land in Targi and in Dasmariñas, to the extent that he also invited Mona to open deposit, make a loan with a land certificate guarantee, as well as other transactions, so that their lives after marriage getting richer with investment value, which is infinite. I don't understand. What does Arvin offer to his girl? He started telling Mona to seduce his adoptive father to submit the land application or home documents as collateral for a loan. that later the money can be spent again. The chick was kinda scared. Special time talk to Jonathan. The man refused and told his daughter to further explore the background of the Arvin. He didn't want to bluntly accuse, but have a feeling that Arvin just wanted to use Mona. March 2002. Mona came crying in front of her father. Want to borrow money. With reason, just bumped into a teenager and have to make compensation for treatment that happened. Jonathan, he asked to be escorted to the hospital, but he said, please ask for money first. It will be delivered to the victim's place. He was given 300,000 pesos, or about $80 million, and recently got caught too. That Jonathan's second car. Mona used to borrow everywhere. Been mortgaged at 500,000 pesos, or around 140 million rupiah. Well, the week after being asked, how are you? The person you bumped into yesterday. It's true that the accident you told me about last month. Is there a note or hospital payment slip? Anyway, a lot of things are asked. Until the beginning of May 2003 came the pawn shop guy who pulled the second car. Because there was also a ransom paid by Mona. Jonathan was confused, but still trying to be positive, to hear an explanation make sense from his daughter. Until finally, because it's been cornered. I haven't been home for a week. The girl confessed that, in fact, there was no accident yesterday. The car has also been sold. That's all the money lent to Arvin. Lend it again to its customers with large interest. For 6 months. Just calm down, Papa. September will share the results as of that interest as their marriage capital. Jonathan is sad. It was so easy for Mona to tell. Because this is not a small amount. Legion AP Jaminan that everything that was told by Arvin, it is true, but he doesn't want to panic, and hopefully his future son-in-law was honest. Finally just left it alone. Most importantly, no more things in the house being sold by the Mona. Napag Jonathan had a story this problem to his youngest son in Manila. It turns out the son even the story to Mirasol, until the woman came to her father's house, then had cursed at Mona, who was considered as adopted child. Don't know yourself. End of July 2002. With his reckless, Arvin met Jonathan directly to borrow money. This time with fantastic numbers, which is 2 million pesos, or almost Rp 600,000. With reason, he will be loaned to one of his clients. Got flowers rolling for a year. But it turns out the prospective in-laws did not believe Arvin's words. Better wait for the money ever asked of Mona. Yesterday was just Macy Ragu Bako Balik or not. But Arvin with his pedestrian said definitely turn it back with a magnificent flower. Mr. Jonathan was lazy to hear the words. High flowers, definitely behind, instantly rich without any cuts. Bullshit to him. Because the interest rate on the loan. It has been regulated by the government. So you don't have to push your luck and give excessive hope. Well, because all the ways done are less successful. Finally Arvin told his girl again to seduce his adoptive father in order to pour out the big fana, so that later the flowers can be used to add rental building and wedding dress when they get married. At first Mona was lazy, for fear of being attacked again by her brother, but because the guy threatened to break up, and the money I use won't return a penny. Finally obeyed, trying to talk to his father. Cunningly, Arvin also told the lover to seduce Mr. Jonathan, because it wasn't her real father anyway. Come on, she's been lonely for a long time. Definitely want to be stroked, as normal men in general. Mona is afraid, until somehow, in mid-August 2003. In one night, he was pretending to be cold, then sleep beside the father. His hands began to naughty fondle up and down. Jonathan, who had been sane, was possessed. Demons too, and just want when it must be served. Same adopted son. The next day Mona tried to seduce, to be able to guarantee 2 million pesos for Arvin, but it turns out the father refused and did not want to fulfill the request. This makes the guy angry and had played hands with Mona. Try again with that girl to seduce his adoptive father in the room to serve. But this time it seems Mona was cunning enough to record and photograph as she satisfies Jonathan. tomorrow,
instead of being threatened by the father to borrow money.
or photo evidence will be shown on Mirasol. Again, Jonathan
Can only smile to make
Mona send photos and videos to your brother. Lift on the thing.
before being sent the father,
I told my son in Manila
and also on Mirasol,
that Mona seduced his seduction in bed,
then forced to borrow money.
for the guy. On Saturday, September 9th, 2002,
3. There was a big fight between Arvin and Mona.
because the guy was angry, the girl has given up her chastity.
How come you didn't even get anything? Mona was angrier and asked to break up, but return the money first.
He who 220 million yesterday, which he said for the customer, see Arvin. This is where the man finally confessed that the money is actually
Not used for borrowing customers to get flowers,
but it's con. Paying Arvin's debts to friends and banks.
because during the
Here it is entangled title and pinjal.
raging this girl. But there's no a penny that can be returned.
On Tuesday, September 12th, 2023,
Mona returned home in the afternoon and apparently met his adoptive brother there.
who was again angry over Mr. Jonathan's complaint yesterday. There were only the two of them. Because the father was out, Mirasol took scissors and then
His sister blindly. For already doing
despicable deeds with father. To ask for money, Mona didn't have time to dodge, then collapsed on the bathroom floor of Mirasol,
had the intention to escape, but he then regretted, and then called the ambulance that took Mona to the hospital.
Tagi Pateros,
Still had time to wake up for 4 days.
and told me about Arvin. Until Saturday dawn, September 16th, 2023,
Mona Ding's life was not saved. He also lost his life at the age of 25.
the police
Had blamed Sir Jonathan, who is considered framing his adopted daughter because it wants to be served.
but I don't want to borrow
Or give money.
But the 61-year-old said
He intends to teach a lesson so that Mona knows herself, and so that Arvin ain't got no profit. The game that has been designed.
Jonathan said,
He never teased his daughter.
because what happened?
It's just the opposite. Natural. He also told his two biological children. Because apparently Mona has sold her car.
Secretly, lying about paying the hospital. The person who was hit
Picked up some of the deceased's jewelry, his wife from the room, up to using
Jonathan's credit card and credit card secretly. But failed,
because it's not in the account the bank
because it is considered
is a suspicious transaction. On Friday,
September 22nd, 2023, the police finally succeeded. Caught Arvin Caesarean section.
who was apparently not single.
I was married and had 2 children.
He also has a lot of debt, plus the list of crimes.
Such as data fraud,
Escape customer money.
misuse of other people's identities, as well as KDRT.
Many, yes, it turns out.
On the results of his decision on a Monday, April 29th, 2024, in the Manila Metro High Court, stated that Mirasol Alterius,
33 years old,
guilty, or
the act that made his adopted sister's life lost.
the woman was sentenced to 15 years in prison, and her child was taken care of by the husband, who was forced to return from sea. While Arvin Pankaniban, age 31, sentenced to 2 years imprisonment for crimes related to
Money and banking.
What do you think? Who here has ever been cheated?
A man she thinks is handsome,
Smart and smart.
looking for money even though Marzunk.
You guys comment down below.
If you like this video,
Don't forget to click the like and share button. Make a new one for the first time.
or have often stopped by, but have not subscribed,
Don't forget to click the subscribe button,
and also turned on the notification.
so that next time, for example, I upload a new video, you'll be the first to know. Also follow my Instagram if you wish. And don't forget
To watch all my other videos.
remember your keep our fingers and also our tongue,
So as not to hurt the hearts of others.
Thank you.